Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is that time of year again, a new semester starting for me and all of the children and university and college people out there. So for y'all that don't know, I teach college, university level psychology courses. And every year or every semester, I have to make a new planner for me. Otherwise, I will forget where I am, forget what I've told each class, forget what I'm doing, forget what I've assigned, forget when I've said a test is going to be. Yes, this is my best friend for the semester. And so for this semester, I used Ooh La La Vintage Treasures. There's the cat. He wants to see. Get down. I used Ooh La La Vintage Treasures Ruffles and Roses kit and her Ruffles and Roses calendar kit. So let's get started. I do want to point out that the cat really wants to be up here and be in the video. Oh, please. You have been, he is so full of him. He's always full of himself, but today is extra. I may have to pause the video and yeah. Okay, I'm back. I had to end up putting him in the bonus room, but he beat up my brother. Sorry about that, hit the camera. He beat up my brother's bulldog this past weekend, and since then, I'm telling you, he is just confidence boost. He's Mr. It. All right, so let's have a look at the cover here. I've got one of Ooh La La Vintage Treasures Ruffle and Roses digitals here. It's one of my favorites. I mean, this is mine, you know, so almost everything you see, I just absolutely love what I've done here with this stuff that I love. I lined it with some pearly lace. I've got a bow here, a little pink polka dotted bow with a heart with angel wings and little rhinestone studs that look like diamonds and a little pearl hanging off. How cute is that? Over here I've got a piece of snippet roll that I made all the way. Let's see, down here I've got laces. It's a sheer white lace here, a rose lace here. It's just, I love the delicateness of these pieces. And then I felt like this corner was missing something, so I added some cheesecloth up underneath, just little hints of it that you can see. And I added this collar. I cut the collar down to about that big and scrunched it up and put it here. And then I topped that with this meandering flower with little teeny tiny seed beads on top of the flower, and I think it is just so cute. I tore the edges of the file. This is a file folder. I cut it in half. Well, cut it as big as or small as it needed to be, and I tore the edges and I distressed them. Now, one thing I am going to state is the papers are a touch bigger than this, but I have the lace on here that I always have. It's not noticeable, and I needed as much room as possible to be able to write in here. It's extremely important, so I like it. It is fine with me. However, if I were selling it, I would shorten it just a touch, but it's mine. I love it. I love this, love it. And y'all look, I got this bracelet with a bunch of hearts like this hanging off of the bracelet from a thrift shop this past weekend, so I've got that there. Got a bunch of other stuff too. We'll get to that in just a minute. All right, so I'm not going to flip through the whole entire thing on the inside. I'm just going to give y'all a sneak peek of a few little things that I did. But because this is utilitarian, because I need all that room to write, I kept it very simple on the inside. Okay. Here I've got a pocket from the calendar kit. Throughout the semester, I receive information from my students. I receive confidential information from the disability department or from my supervisor or whatever, and I will sometimes need that very quickly, and so I made a pocket for that. And I put a piece of it's actually not a piece of lace, it's from a doily that I had cut, and it just fit perfectly, beautifully. Did some collaging. I lined this pocket with some lace and some sari silk and a little piece of lace here. And the teeny tiniest, can y'all see that little piece of trim? I love that little trim. It is so cute. And then an applique, a flower applique with pearls and sequins. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here we go. So here's one of the pages, and I'm going to show y'all more in just a second. Bear with me. These that I did, these are to write specific instructions on larger notes, and they are, you know, January 2023, Thursday the 12th, Friday the 13th, stuff like that. This did not come from the Ruffles and Roses calendar kit. This is a digital calendar laid out in this format that I bought a while ago that I keep on hand because I make these planners, like I said, once a semester, once a year. You know, the longest I've kept one is 2 years. I love that planner so much. It was so beautiful and it worked so well. I used that planner for 2 years and just switched out the dates. Okay, so over here I have one of the little hearts from our kit just to make things look a little pretty while I'm in here. And I've got I made this little cabochon here with some rose papers and some fairy dust, some glamour dust, and a little ribbon. I'll show you how I did my pages and when I get to the center I'll do that. And then we have the Ruffle and Roses kits paper for me to just turn. I mean, just look at that. So I'm working, it's all about work, it's all about teaching. I'm looking in my planner, and you know what? It's happiness. It's happiness. Okay, let me find, there we go, another heart. All these beautiful papers. Okay, here's the center. Did a couple things with the center. One, where are you? Here we go. I added a bookmark because at a glance, I need to know, I need to have it on the date, on the page that it is to make my life easier, right? So I added a bookmark with a piece of ribbon, topped with a cute little pink bow with the pearl. So what have I got here? Because I am going to change this calendar out next semester or add to it next semester, either one I decide, I bound it together by piercing a hole. Okay, so I made these pages by cutting 3 little tabs and gluing them to the first and the last and the first and the last all the way to the middle. And I strengthened them by putting on the other side a piece of washi. So it's on both sides, okay? One here, one here, one here. So then I took the black piece of elastic, punched a hole right above the very top tab and right below the very bottom tab, and pushed it all the way through, you know, from the outside, and then tied it really tight in the middle. That way it's not going to go anywhere, but I'll be able to very easily remove it next semester. And then I didn't like looking at that. Of course, I mean, obviously I didn't want to look at that on the outside or the inside, so I covered it with this piece of sari silk. I'll show y'all from the outside. Oh no, my little heart came off. I'm going to have to re-glue that. Okay. Just tied a little bow. This little piece of sari silk here. I wonder if that was not all the way dry. I did just finished this, so that may not have been all the way dry and didn't want to be moved. But alas. Alright, so y'all will notice that my pages are not perfect in measurement all to the other. They're not perfect in measurement with their tabs Nothing. I eyeballed absolutely everything. I put everything on just by eyeballing. I stacked, I situated. I did not trim down because I liked it. That's just, you know, I like it. So on the Ruffles and Roses calendar kit, there's a lot more to it than this, y'all. And I shrunk these down. These are supposed to be 8 by 10. I wanted something smaller, so I went with the 5 by 7. I shrunk it down to 5 by 7. And on these, you get the whole calendar here, reminders, monthly goals, notes. So you can imagine if it went 8 by 10, there would be a lot more space to write. But then there's other stuff, calendar related, that you can print out and use as well. That I did not, I didn't need it for this, so I didn't do it. Another one of Ooh La La Vintage Treasures Hearts. So pretty. So y'all see, I just wanted this just to be simple. The page is beautiful and plain, utilitarian, very usable for me. Plenty of place to write. I mean, look, oh, that is so pretty. Love it. Another heart. Let's go to the end here. Okay. Now y'all can see that is well tied in there, and they're not going to go anywhere. On the last page, I have collaged it. And again, I deal with a lot of confidential stuff and a lot of stuff that I need to remember, a lot of important things throughout the semester. I did glue this little book that I made in. I glued it in because if there's confidential stuff in here, I do not want to risk it falling out and, you know, someone else getting it. So she made bigger heart digitals, and I printed out 2 of them, one for the front and one for the back. And I used a bunch of really old typing paper. This is really old, y'all. To make the little booklet. And I just stapled it together, put a little bow here and a little rhinestone. And again, a bunch of collaging. And this is lined. This is one of my favorite pieces of trim. I love this piece of lace trim. This is a little specimen jar. What do you call them? Specimen displays. I'm not sure. But anyway, I made this a long time ago and forgot about it and just come across it today when I was looking through my stuff. And I love it. I absolutely do. And so I pinned it here just for it to be hanging down. I think that's just gorgeous. Can y'all see all the sparkle and the shimmer in here? It's gorgeous. And then Doreen of Ooh La La Vintage Treasures sent me the Ruffle and Roses actual kit. And this came in it. I had intended on keeping that entire kit together and doing something, but I saw this up on my Lazy Susan, and I was like, oh, I love it. And it would just be so perfect hanging off of my planner, and that would make me so happy to see every day. So, you know, Doreen, I am using it for myself, right? You know, and I'm going to use the rest for myself. And I may someday take this off and use it on something else. I may take various things off and use it for something else one day. It's mine, you know. But for right now, there it is. And I love it. And I think it's just so, I mean, look at that, y'all. Look. That is just so pretty. I love it. I think it's just a bunch of delicious gorgeousness, full of delicious papers, and oh my goodness. I'm so happy. And work starts Monday, and this is what I'll be using. Love my job, but it can be stressful, and especially I absolutely hate the paperwork. I do, and you know, this will make it a little bit better. Thanks, Doreen. And thank all of y'all for watching, and I hope that this inspired y'all. Till next time, bye.